Okay, Assalamualaikum, very good morning. Okay, so today we are going to continue our class for computer programming, which is in Python. And our topic for today is under chapter 3, input and output statement. Okay, so most of the topic today is based on what you learned before, what you have done before. But I will try to explain it in much more detailed way for today. And don't worry, today class will not be long, okay? But we will have a lot of exercise for us to do. So make sure that you are using your own PC where you can run your Python program properly, okay? Because we're going to do some checking, okay, for your codes and everything as a practice for today. And of course, we will discuss our lab task last week, okay, by the end of the class before we finish, okay? Okay, so for outcome for this week is that, okay, we will make sure that you know what is the standard formatted data input and output, and you will code based on those data standard data input and output as well. So basically last week we have done something related to input and print. So those are the things that we will focus on for today. So a little bit more detail on what we're going to do. So last week I did mention about data types. Okay, so what are data types? Data types represent how information is stored in the computer. Okay, so certain information, let's just say that certain location, memory location in your computer, okay, they have limited space. Okay, they have limited space. Like for example, for your one memory space might require 2 bytes only of information. So for it to store a very long information is kind of restrictive. Okay, so when this happen, a computer they tend to select the what kind of information they will store based on what type of information you want it to store. Okay, so some information might be a string. String means a series of words. Okay, series of alphabets, and then we have numeric. Numeric we have a real number, like for example integer, floating number, or like for example 20.5. Okay, and then which we're going to use float, and we have complex number. Okay, if you remember, we have imaginary and real parts of numbers. So this one is what we're going what is available in your coding right now. So all those information they stored in different kind of data types to make efficient of the memory location. Okay, so if you store 20 as a float, it will recognize it as a 20.0. Okay, if you store floating number like 20.5 as an integer, it will recognize it as 20 because of limitation of memory space. So depending on what data type, there's a range as well. Like for example, integer it from 30,000 something to up until negative 30,000 something to 30,000 something, maybe more, depending on the OS lah. Okay, and then we have float. It's a little bit less because it consists of the floating point number as well. Might be around 300 or 1,000 something, negative 1,300 something to 300 or 1,000 something. So depending on the OS itself or the programming language. Okay, so other than numbers, okay, we have boolean. Okay, boolean is where you define certain things as 0 or 1, means it either it's a true or false. Okay, you can specify a variable to carry whether it's true or false. Okay, representing true or false. So we will focus more on this in chapter where we have condition, which is if and else later on. So any information or data sent to a computer, okay, will be processed. Okay, user enter the input where the user must understand the type of the input data. Okay, like for example here you have okay variable name input text to be displayed here. Okay, so this is where we have input. So here like for example first name and you have here input. Okay, enter first name. Okay, and here we have last name input enter last name. So by default anything entered here as input is recognized as string. Okay, as string. Numbers also can be strings, like for example your IC number, phone number, everything can be recognized as string as well. Okay, so when you define the code, okay, you will get when you define the variables, okay, directly in your program, you can define it like this. Okay, first name this person Suryanti, and then last name is Awang here. Okay, you can represent it as this one. But if you want the user to key in those information, you have to put it like this. Okay, maybe you want to this one is text to be displayed. It's different than this one. Okay, this one is string data. This one text to be displayed in your screen. And after you key in the input, the first name will be the things that you have entered lah. Okay, so sometimes when we do the input, okay, when we are trying to input some things, we tend to key in either float or integer. Okay, so it's hard for us to clarify what kind of input that we want to key in, especially in terms of numbers. So we usually have what we call this eval. Okay, so when we use eval, whether it's an integer, float, or complex number, okay, it can be recognized and it will select among the suitable data type for it to define inside your code. Okay, so if you don't want to figure out integer ke float ke whatever, you can just use eval lah. Okay, so you don't have to worry if you use eval here. If not, if you want to change number, you have to put integer, float. I myself I prefer to define it as float or integer lah, because I clear about what kind of code I want in there. And also because I practice using C a lot before, where C you have to properly mention what kind of data types and everything, just kind of a little bit of habit. So okay, so far so good. Can you guys understand? You guys understand? Do you guys understand here? Respond please.
Yes,
Any?
sir.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay. So next we talk about output. Okay. So when we talk about output, usually we like input, we use the word input, but output, okay, those are things like for example to be displayed, everything. Okay, we put it as print. Okay, print means that it's going to be displayed inside the terminal. So this shows the outcome of the process being conducted in your program. Okay, and presentable and meaningful. Okay, so means that all of this is going to be presented in the code. Okay, so this display after the execution process, we use the word print and also text to be displayed here, any text that you want to be displayed, and also the information carried by the variable can be shown inside the terminal itself. Like for example, okay, text to be displayed here is enter the radius, and 554.1 is the things that being carried, data that being carried by a variable. So you can combine all of them and display it here. Okay, so let's start with the exercise now. Okay, you can open your Tony and try to do this program first. Develop a program for the following computational program. Your computational problems. Your program must request user to enter the value, calculate an average of 3 values in integer, calculate an average of 5 values, and the average must be in 2 floating point, and calculate the area of triangle. Okay, so let's start with our first exercise. Okay, so here I minimize the screen. Okay, so let's start practicing with Tony here. Okay, so develop a program for the following computational problem. Okay, so now, okay, let's try and do this one first. Okay, so open new. Okay, file, save file first. So you can put in chapter 3, 1. Okay, so here we want to do calculate the average. Can you guys see the code? Can you guys see the screen here that I have?
Can.
Can, okay. Okay, so calculate an average of 3 numbers. So what do you want to do? Of course, when you want to calculate 3 numbers, you need to know what are the 3 numbers is. So you can create the variable number 1 and number 2, okay, and number 3. Okay, easy. So next, okay, we need to key in the information. Okay, so what is the number? So we need to ask the user, what is the number? So you just put in input, enter number 1. Okay. So of course we want it to be a number. Okay. So it can be an integer. So let's start with integer first. Integer. Okay. Integer means a real number. Okay. So if you don't want to get confused, you can use eval later on, but I prefer to use integer. Okay. You can just copy paste all this code. Same thing. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we need to put equal here. And this is number 2, number 3. Then what you do next, we want to take an average, right? Average of three numbers. So how to calculate average? You can put in average. Okay, number 1 plus number 2 plus number 3. Okay, divided by 3. Okay, average equal. Okay, divide by 3. So next, what we do next is print the result. Okay, average is, and you put in the result variable average. Okay, see that this is what I finish it. Okay, so let's run. Enter number 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer is 3. So finish. Okay, so easy, right? Do you have any question? So let's try again with number. Let's try to do it with floating point. Number 1, 1.5. So here I cannot enter floating point because my definition here is integer. So if I want to do it with floating point, I need to change it with to float. Float, float. Okay. So let's try again. And here I can work it out properly. 1.5, 1.8, and 1.2. So I got answer is average is 1.5. Okay. So it's simple, right? So if you don't want to make a problem with the data types, you can just use eval here. Okay. So you don't have to worry about the data type later on. You can put 4, 2, 2, 3. So you get 3. And if you run it using a floating point, oops. Okay, we run it again. Okay, the number 1 is 2, 3, 5, 4. So you got the result is integer. Okay, you can run it with floating point as well. Same thing. Okay, 1.5, 2.5, 1.8, 1.2. So you get it 1.5. So the same thing, but you can use both way, float or integer as well. Okay, so do you have any questions so far? And try to do it yourself. Okay, if it's not working, you can ask me. Yes, any question?
The floating is for decimals, ke? Decimals.
For floating number is for where you have points, decimal points. Here at the
Thank
back.
you.
Okay, any other question? Okay, you guys can do it or not? You can try to do it now. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes to do it. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, so for the first exercise, okay, develop a program for the following computational problem. Your program must request the user to enter this value. Okay, so here you can see at my screen, okay, here at my screen, that, okay, the algorithm, the flowchart looks like this. You have here begin, okay, where you have three inputs of value, value 1, value 2, value 3. And then from there, you will conduct a process, okay, that takes the average value, okay, for these three numbers. And at the end, you will print the average and you finish. A simple case, right? Okay. So next one, okay, for the second point, okay, calculate the average of five values. Same thing. Okay, if you look at my Tony here, you'll just increase by two more numbers. Okay, so you get two more numbers here, number 4, number 5. Okay, this is number 4, number 5. We divide 5, add another two numbers at the back. Okay, number 4, number 5. Ah, so easy, right? I just copy paste everything from before. Okay, number 1, 2. Okay, then number 2 is 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you get the average is 4. Okay, so simple, right? Okay, not that difficult. And then we go towards numbers 3 exercise. Okay, So develop a program for the following computational problem. So which is calculate area of triangle. So begin height of triangle, and then you have base of triangle, and height times base equal divided by 2. So let's try and do it. Okay, just continue. Just remove this one. This one. Enter height. Okay, you can save the program if you want, but I just deleted everything. Base. Okay, so average changes area. So area is equal 0.5 lah. Number 1 times number 2 divided by 2. So we run this height, for example, 5 times 2, area is 5. Is it correct? Height times base is divided by 2. Yep. Okay, so it's an easy task for you, right? Okay, so on Thursday again we will do something like this again. So you have to just copy paste, jangan screenshot, copy paste. This is for your practice, and maybe just maybe for your lab sheet session this week, I will not uh, I will not make it a PowerPoint for you to download. I will make it Google Form. Okay, you make it a Google Form where you have to upload your codes. Okay, upload your codes online. Okay, upload means that copy paste and answer lah. Copy paste inside the form and answer lah. Okay, so that you guys can just do it immediately in Google Form. Write the code, copy your code from Tony and paste it in the Google Form. Okay, no need to download PowerPoint and upload everything. Some of you got a slow internet. You don't want to create a problem lah later in your studies. Okay, so let's proceed next. Okay, finish with basic. Okay, so next we're going to do an intermediate level. Okay, intermediate level. So here I have 3 questions for you to do now. Okay, so the first one, calculate slope m between two lines. Slope equation is m y2 minus y1 divided by x2 x1. Okay, user must enter value for y and x respectively. The output will be slope value m. Okay, so this question 1. So try and calculate them yourself. Next, find b, where k minus b is equal to m minus 10 divided by l. User must enter the value for k, m, and j. Huh? Where's j? Where's j? Your program will process the value produced b. I'm sorry, not j, l. Sorry, not j. This one is l. Wait, need to change. L. Okay. Find b. Okay, so how do you calculate this? Okay, figure it out. And then next one, convert inch to centimeter. User must enter value for inch. Your program will process the value to produce in centimeter. Okay, you can do it now. You can start doing it now. Okay, for your lab, it will be a question like this. And for your final exam, there is one more level upper than here. It's called the high level. Okay, so this one intermediate level. Okay, okay lah, easy. But for your final exam, it will be higher level lah. So try and do it now. Okay, in the code, in Tony. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes for question 1 before I start showing you. Okay, how to do it. Okay, 5 minutes from now. Okay, you have a question, you can ask me immediately. Okay, can you guys do it?
No, sir.
Huh? Can? Cannot? Cannot?
Can.
Cannot. Ay, it's easy je. Sama je soalan tadi. Okay, cannot working. Okay, can anybody share their screen? Let's see. So this one, just change this into x. I'll give example lah. Y1, y x1. Bagi clue lah. Y1, x1. Okay. Let's calculate M is equal, okay, Y1, no, Y2 minus Y1. Nah, Y2, bracket Y2 minus Y1 divided by X2 minus X1. Okay, ini M. Ha. So sekarang ni tambah je Y2, Y1. Macam mana? Simple je. Kan? Cuba try again.
Sir,
Yep.
apa beza kalau guna float?
Float. Boleh je lah pakai float.
Hmm.
Tadi macam saya cakap lah, float tu untuk yang ada titik perpuluhan. Kalau awak guna eval, kalau tak ada titik perpuluhan dengan yang ada titik perpuluhan pun dua-dua boleh guna.
Kalau soalan tak statekan mana satu, kita boleh guna mana-mana je lah.
Gunalah mana-mana. Tapi
Okay.
depend on output yang dia nak lah.
Boleh.
Okay. Boleh buat. Simple aja kan. Soalan je nampak complicated. Padahal sama je. So you can just put copy yang ni down here. Change to Y2, X2. Okay. So when you run this, can be run, buatlah 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2. Slope is 1, for example. Okay, so it's easy, right? So kalau macam you buat lagi, ada soalan? Ada soalan?
No, sir.
Okay, simple je, easy. Don't think it complicatedly. Think it easily. Okay. Okay. So now proceed to the next question down here. Okay. Find B where K minus B is equal M minus 10 divided by L. So yang ni you kena tukar lah sikit. K ni, B ni pergi kanan, M minus 10 per L ni pergi belah kiri. Kan? Macam mathematics you guys selalu buat tu. Okay, you guys suka tu. Itulah. Okay, try. Okay, macam mana? Soalan nombor 2 boleh kan? Can or not?
Can, sir.
Okay, for question number 2. Okay, for question number 2, you can go here. You have K, M, L, and B. K, M, L. K, M, L. Saya remove satu lah kat sini. So K, M, L. M and L. So here your program should be, okay, B is equal, B is equal K subtract with M minus 10. This one pun kena dalam bracket. Divide L. Okay. So what is B? Okay. So your answer for here, B is, okay, this, run. So enter K, 3, M, 4, L, 5. So B is 4.2. Simple, right? Simple aja. So now we go towards number 3, convert inch to centimeter. This one is the easiest one lah. Okay, so we have enter, okay, inch. Enter inch. Okay, so here cm is equal our 2.54 times inch. Okay, so here you can put in, I'm not sure whether this can work or not, inch, okay, plus inch is B. This one I show you the trick. B plus cm. Okay, so whether it's working or not, maybe I forgot the correct command. Okay, it's correct. Okay, so let's see. Enter inch, I want to enter 4 inch. Oh, something is wrong here. Did I do something wrong? Okay. So maybe put this way. Is this okay? Oh, still cannot. Okay, so I need to make it string inch plus string b string cm plus, let's try again. 4. Okay, correct. So you see, this is how I do it. Okay, what I did in the print is that I want it to be, I enter the information and I want it to show me the entered information and also the calculated information. So this inch is inch here. Okay, you can see when I enter evaluate input, since it's going to calculate it, we might be in float. Okay, so when I display without this string, okay, it cannot display because when I use plus, I can only use with string. So I have to change the float into string first, and then I can add together. So if you see my result, okay, whatever I put in, 5, okay, it automatically calculate 5 inch is 12.7. Okay, so I put in other thing like for example, into inch 12. 12 inch is 30.48. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. This is one of the trick lah. Okay, if you want to use Python to display anything, 68. Okay, for example, 68 inch is 172.72 centimeter. Okay, so you can include a lot more here. Okay, like for example, you want to include feet. Okay, 68 feet inch is 5 feet, 4 inch is 172. Okay, 72. So this is one way for you to do lah in print. Okay, you can use plus. However, when you use plus, you need to make sure that the variable that you enter is a string as well. Okay, so therefore, before you print out, you need to change the variable. Like for example, this inch into string. Okay, this cm into string. Okay. Any question? Any question so far? Anybody want to share with us? Okay, their answers. No. No. Nobody want to share. Okay, you guys okay or not? Okay, I just copy this one and I put it into the chat so that you can try and copy paste it into your codes. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let's proceed next. Okay, this is an example. Okay, hard level 1. Develop a program for the following computational program. Okay, your program must request user to enter the value. Okay, write a program. Okay, to generate a line equation based on two coordinate points. Okay, entered and given by the user. Okay, the equation is y equals 0.8125 x plus 6.875. Okay, so line equation is m dot x plus c, where m is equal the code above, and c is equal this one. So you need to make sure that you create an equation y equal the slope times x plus c. So use the techniques that I showed you before in inch, okay, to do this one. Okay, the clue is the one that I show you in the inch print. Okay, the inch print there. Okay, if you look at here, my codes before. Okay, you look at my code before. Use this. This the same technique. Okay, use the same technique to do this one. Okay, you can refer to the one I put it into your messages. Okay, try and do it now. Okay, you have to have the input, 4 input, and from the 4 input, you create a line equation. Okay. Okay, the technique to be used is the same technique I show you when we did with the inch. Okay, so here. Okay, same technique. Okay, your answer must be like this, huh? Wait, okay, your answer must be like this. Okay, try by yourself first. Okay, later on I'll show you how to do it. Okay, macam mana boleh buat ke? Hello, boleh buat ke? Can you guys do it? Cannot, sir. Can or cannot?
Cannot.
Can. Hey, same thing. Okay, just put here. Let me just show you lah. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I put in here x1, x2, y1, y2. It's the same thing, simple thing. Okay, same simple thing. So don't complicate things. Okay, programming is most of them are copy paste. Okay, so just use whatever code you have before and try to minimize your job there. Okay, so finish the top part. Okay, next the equation part is here. So you have to calculate first the slope. So when you want to calculate slope, m is equal, okay, y2 minus y1, okay, divided by x2 minus x1. Okay, you got the slope. So when you want to print, okay, you need to calculate the c. C is equal y1 subtract with m times x1. Okay, uh, am I correct? Correct, right? Okay, so here when you create the code here, okay, you need to start with y. Y is equal, okay, y is equal space okay, uh, and then you have the m, okay, plus, okay, dot x, Okay, plus C. Okay, X. You need to include plus here. Plus C. So let's take a look. What kind of answer do you get? So when I do it, syntax error. What's wrong? Oh, here. Yes. Okay. Okay. X1 is 10. X2 is 90. And then 15. And then 80. And you got the answer? Same thing. Okay. Congratulations. Oh, you need to put in the equation is. So just put in the front. The equation is. Is. Ah. Okay. So here again. Okay. 10, 90, 15, 80. See? Same answer, right? Easy. Okay, do you have any question? Easy one, right? Make a space here so that this will be a space here. Okay, so put it here again. Let's run it again. 10, 90, 15, 80. Okay, see, you got space now. Okay, so this one is the variable, and then this one is what being displayed. Okay, so space, everything will be displayed all together. If you want to change reduce space here. Okay, if you want to reduce space here, you can reduce space and here. And here also you got space. This space is over here. Before the zero. If not, okay, same space here. If not, the zero will close to the equal. So that's why I put the space there. Okay, this one I intend no space because I want it next directly. Okay, so same thing. Okay, do you have any question? Do you have any questions so far? No question. Any question?
Tak ada doktor.
Tak ada. Boleh buat. Anik boleh buat.
Boleh tapi time print tu dia pening sikit lah. Nak letak.
Ya. Oh, ya, Aida. Okay, Aida. Ya, kenapa Aida? Nak share screen ya? Tak. Okay. Can you explain about print? Okay, print is where you display. Okay, like for example, print part. Okay, let me explain the print part. Print hello world. Okay, so if you see here, look at the screen. Okay, print hello world here. Make it big. Okay, so when I run print, okay, they will display here hello world. Okay, this is the output. Okay, so print hello world. Okay, you want to add. Okay, kalau macam for example you want two things. Okay, sekejap saya explain yang bagian string tu. Okay, you want to include two string. Okay, two words. Okay, hello world, Dr. Syafiq. Okay, bila you print ni, dia boleh keluar. Oh, rapat sangat, kena ada space. Okay. Plus ni, dia sama je kalau kita remove. Same thing. Okay, same thing. Tapi kenapa ada plus ni is the reason that we need the plus is for us to select something in the middle. Okay, for us to include, okay, to squeeze in some information in the middle of the things that you want to display. Okay, so basically, okay, this is one part, this is two part, okay, and then there is something in the middle. Okay, so what things you want to select? Okay, like for example, I want to select M, okay, equal okay, like for example, I put in child of. Okay, so here I put in M plus. Okay, so tengah ni M is this thing I want to select lah. So here, hello world child of Dr. Shafiq. This is for my son lah. You see? So M here is this one. Okay. So the problem is that this thing only works with string, and this is a string, because what happened when you have string usually you have this apostrophe. Okay, this is not apostrophe, this is what you call it I forgot lah. Apostrophe, siapa tu?
Semicolon.
Semicolon lain, semicolon yang ni.
Sorry.
Okay, semicolon is different one. Okay, I forgot lah, but this is bracket lah. Call it like a code bracket, code. Okay, so when you put in, like for example, M is equal 30. Okay, cannot run because this one is integer. Okay, integer. So you need to make sure that it become a string first before you cancellate it. So one way to make sure that you cancellate it is for you to put in bracket like this, string. Okay, welcome to Dr. Shafiq. Okay, so the problem if you use like this is that you can no longer change it. Okay, you can no longer change it. However, if you put it something like this, okay, you can change it. Okay, you can change it. How you change it? Okay, let me demonstrate to you. Okay, instead of putting here, I remove it here. I change it from here. I put it here. So okay, and then I run it. Same thing here. So if I change this one to 15, I don't need to change this one. I only change up here. See? So I change it to 1.5, 6, whatever. Okay, it go into here. You see? It's one of good features lah. Okay. However, if you want to select, you have to put in a lot of things lah. Okay. Just now, when I show you, okay, the one alamak I delete lah tadi. Okay. So like this one. Okay. X1 equal eval. Okay. Input. Enter X1. Okay. So copy paste everything. Where is it? To the left. Okay, so this one, X1, X2, Y1, Y2. So this 2, Y1, Y2. So you put it down here. Km is equal Y2 minus Y1 divided by X2 minus X1. So then put in C is equal Y1 minus M times X1. Then put in another one. Okay, print the equation is, okay, let me show you first. Okay, is Y equal X plus C. Okay, so this one I want to display this one first. So when I run eval input apa yang miss? Oh, betul lah. Okay, done. Okay, enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Equation is y equal m dot x plus c. Okay, this one I did not display anything from here lah. Okay, so this one just display this thing. So when I split this one, I keluarkan m. I split this one. Okay, so when I split, I need to insert plus. Okay, plus. Okay, still the same thing, but I try to split it into multiple section. Okay, so when I run it, put in 2, 3, 4, 5. Equation is still the same. Okay, it's still the same. So now I want to change this into this m. Okay, put m. I will change this into c. However, because this m and c is not a string, I need to change it into string first. Okay, so this one, string. Okay, so when I run it, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you got the answer there. See? So this M and C is based on this on top of here, M, and also down here, C. So that's why we use this string. Okay, if we don't use this string, okay, like for example, if just remove the bracket, okay, it will become an error because Python recognize it as float. Okay, right now M and C is a float. Okay, it's not a string. I cannot display something from float. So you need to change this float into a string first. Okay, so I change it into a string. I change it into a string. And at the end, what happened? 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, see? This is the result. Okay, you guys understand? So, Amin Nur Husna, boleh faham? Boleh faham? Faham. Okay, good. Sebab tu kita kena letak bracket. Bracket ni sebab kita nak asingkan sahaja. So, kita nak pecahkan into berapa-berapa section. So that we can select in, we can squeeze in some more information from any of your upper codes. Okay? So, you guys have any question? Other question? You don't have any other question? Okay, let's take a look at last week exercise. Okay, this is last week exercise. Okay, so you guys submit them or not? Because this is a part of your attendance. No attendance, no final exam. Okay, do you guys submit them or not? Do you guys submit them or not? Dah,
Yes.
Samira dah. Dah. Okay, good. Okay, thank you for those who submit. Okay, it's an easy one. Okay, write an algorithm and draw a flow chart. Okay, so flow chart is simple one lah. Same thing that we have for let's just write them in here lah. Okay. So you want to do the flow chart, you can just put in, like for example, from shape, you have this flow chart section. Okay, you choose oval first. Where is the oval part? Oval. Terminator. Yes, terminator. Okay, so you have this start and copy to end. Okay, and there you have your input. Okay, so input USD. Okay, and then insert process square. Okay, USD MOR is equal USD times 4.1, and then you put it output MYR. So later on you just put in all the arrows. I just like to put one arrows instead of one and then send it to back. Okay, so you can see. So finish with the flow chart. For the algorithm, okay, it's easy. Okay, maybe your pseudocode. Okay, input USD. Okay, MYR equal USD times 4.1, and then output USD. Finish. Just like this. Okay, or you can write the code immediately. So I'm quite good with PowerPoint, so I do things quite fast lah. So you can put it into the Python code. Okay, codes here is USD is equal input, or we will make eval, and input. Okay, enter USD. Then you make the process. Okay, MYR is equal USD times 4.1, and then print MYR. Or you want to make it like what I did before. Okay, you put in string USD. Okay, and then put plus USD is plus, okay, string MYR. This one is different. Don't, okay, MYR R plus, okay, we have this MYR. Okay, so this is green. Supposedly this one is green. Green. Oh, PowerPoint. The problem with PowerPoint is it kind of stubborn lah. Tengok, got one extra. Okay, this one also green. Okay. See, this one stubborn. Okay, so we have this one. So you can see that this is the codes for Python. Simple, right? Okay, so let's go to the next one. Diameter of a circle and calculates its area. So just copy paste this one. Change this into diameter. Area is equal to, okay, this one is area. Area is pi times diameter. No, pi times diameter divided by 2 power of 2. Okay, so here is pi is 3.142 times diameter divided by 2, okay, power of 2. Power we usually do like this. Okay, am I correct? Okay. Okay, then you got this one, output area. Okay, so simple one, algorithm is the same thing. You can put copy paste here. Okay, input diameter, put D lah, put D. So A, oh, this one is pseudocode, cannot shorten. Diameter, area is, okay, 3.142 times diameter divided by 2 power of 2. And the answer here is area. So when you write your codes, okay, you can put in, just copy it. Okay, enter diameter, enter D, put it D. D, A is equal, okay, A is equal 3.142, this is pi times D divided by 2. Okay, power, we use this one, power of 2. Okay, 2 times double plus, double multiplication. Okay, so you can just put in area is D. Okay, and area is A. Okay, so you finish down here. And up here also we finish. Okay, finish your second task. Easy, right? Huh? Not that difficult. Already did in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You have 2 hours to do this. Okay, so this one next is, I got a very, very long question, but it's not that difficult. Okay, once upon a time in Apple Land. Okay, this one, the last code, I just copy paste it and put it into the WhatsApp, the message. Okay, once upon a time in Apple Land, okay, John had 3 apples, Mary had 5, Adam had 6. They were all very happy and lived for a long time. End of story. Create the variable John, Mary, and Adam. Assign values to the variable. The values must be equal to the number of fruit processed by John, Mary, and Adam, respectively. So having stored the numbers in the variable, print the variable on one line, separate each of them with comma. Okay. Now create a new variable named total apples equal to addition of the 3 former apples. Print the value stored in total apples to the console. Okay. So let's try. John, okay, equal 3. Mary equal 5. Adam equal 6. Okay, so now he asks us to print first. John has John apples. Let me make it like this lah. John apples is John. Then same thing with Mary and Adam lah. So we have John. Here we have Mary. Mary has Mary. Here Mary. And Adam has Adam. So then he tells us to create total apples. Total apples is equal to John plus Mary plus Adam. And you got print total apples. So total apples. Okay, so when you run this, what will you get? Okay, John apples 3, 5, 6. Okay, and total apples is 14. Okay, simple task. So you write this, copy these codes, and paste it here, and you're finished. Okay, make some box. Okay. Okay. So finish, and you just change the file name into your name, include your student ID, and submit it in column. Simple, right? Not that difficult. Okay. So this is for the last class task. Okay. So I save it as answer. Okay. So we'll finish. Okay. So do you have any questions so far? Do you have any question? Do you have any question? No question? Anik, ada soalan? You got any question?
No, sir.
Okay. So before we end our class, okay, let's take the attendance. Okay. So today class we have a lot of practice. Okay. Next week also we will have a much more difficult class. Okay. So before we finish class, I want to take the attendance. Okay. You can ask anything while I'm opening the attendance.
Sir, there is a question in chat box.
Question in the chat box. Sorry. Sir, ya. Yeah. Mana ada question? Ada sir je. Aida Farihin, ya. Yeah. Ada nak tanya apa-apa?
Amin tanya, sir kalau letak diameter je tak buat bahagi dua darab dua tu?
Yang mana? Oh, yang tadi, soalan tadi. Mana tak ada dalam chat box pun? Chat mana? WhatsApp?
Tak, chat box.
Ada, saya tak keluar.
Dekat
Oh, di atas tu. Sir, kalau seletak diameter je, tak buat bahagi 2 darab 2 tu, macam mana nak dapat area? Soalan dia nak cari area kan? So, we need to find out like this one. Okay, the answer. Okay, the purpose here untuk cari area. Okay. This one bahagi 2, power of 2, bukan darab 2 tau. So, saya tahu 2 kali, kalau darab 2, bahagi 2 akan dapat 1 kan? Tapi this one is not bahagi, this one power. Power of 2, kuasa 2. Kalau 2 kali darab ni maksudnya kuasa 2. So, bila kuasa 2 is different than bahagi 2 lah kan? So, diameter. Okay, diameter bahagi 2, kuasa 2. Okay? Faham tak? Amin?
So, Sir tak boleh just letak diameter je ke? Kan kalau diameter equal to R square.
Diameter R times 2. Apa ni? Hey, subject science. Student science. Hey, betul kan? Diameter R times 2. Kan? Science student. You forgot lah. Saya computer science student. Nampak? Boleh ingat diameter berapa? Kan? Betul tak?
Betul.
So pi j kuasa 2. Saya ingat dulu. Saya belajar sains in Malay. Okay. Luas bulatan is equal pi j kuasa 2. J is jejari. So diameter is 2 kali j. Right?
Yes, sir.
So this.
Sorry, sir.
Okay. Okay. So okay, I'm going to take your attendance for today. Okay, for section 6 today. Yeah.
Untuk exercise 3.
Minta apa?
Untuk exercise 3.
Untuk exercise 3. Okay.
Kan dia ada cakap yang dia nak print the variable on one line kan? Apa
Variable.
maksud tu?
Mana? Create the variable.
On one line.
On one line. Mana ada one line?
Bawah lagi. Tu.
Print the variables on one line means yang tadi tu, kalau you tengok dekat Tony tadi. Oh, I think I made something wrong lah. Supposedly one line separate them with a comma. Now create a new variable. Okay, so supposedly like this. Wait. Supposedly like this lah. Sekejap. Buat betul ni lah senang. I'm not sure whether this is correct or wrong. Supposedly like this. Lebih kurang macam ni lah. Macam yang kita buat tadi tu. Oh, dia suruh dengan comma kan? Oh, sorry. Comma means that. Just, I'm not sure correct or wrong. Saya selalu guna macam ni. So, I need to test it first. So, for Python, they have a lot of flexibility. So, you can just choose what kind of techniques you want to use lah. So, I often use this kind of yang ni saya jarang guna. Okay, same thing. See? Supposedly like this lah. Boleh guna macam ni juga. Kalau you tak nak guna string like I did before with string and plus, you can use something like this lah. Separate them by commas like this. Okay? Faham?
Faham.
Okay. Okay, so ada soalan?
Aida Farihin ada tanya, betul tak dia buat?
Aida Farihin, print on number apples. Okay, let's make it one line. Kejap saya tanya. Try. Oh, dia siap ada koma lagi. Boleh betul kot. Kita tengok apa beza dia. Oh, John's number of apples. Okay, 3, 5, 6. Okay, same thing. Sama lah. Aida buat. Okay, it's correct one lah. Nothing wrong here. You just add much more sentences lah, words there. Okay, also can. You can want to separate by commas also can. Okay, something like this also possible lah. Okay, it's okay. It doesn't have a fixed answer as long as it work as intended. It's fine lah. Okay, this Thursday. Okay. Kita akan ada lab lagi. We will have another lab. So please make sure you attend and submit the lab task as requested. Okay, this will be your attendance lah. Okay, so I don't think you will have any problem lah in submitting them. So it's a very simple exercise like what I just shown you before. Okay, the exercise is very simple. So don't worry about difficulties lah. Okay, it's not to make your life suffer. It's for you to make it within 1 hour lah, which the lab session is intended to. Okay, tak susah pun. Just buat dan submit. Okay, and then maybe this week, since we are going to use, we're going to do a lot more exercise on Tony, maybe I'll make the submission using Google Form lah. Okay, so much more easier than you to download and upload all those things lah. Okay, so that's all for today. I see you guys next week. Before I end, okay, anybody want to ask any question?
Sir,
Yeah.
this week,
Apa?
do we have a quiz this week?
Quiz. You want to do quiz?
Oh.
You want to do quiz or not? Okay.
Sebab
Okay, kalau saya nak buat quiz, nanti saya akan mention. Saya post quiz saya simple aja. I'll tend to, I need to ask the other class first lah. Dia nak buat quiz macam mana. Sebab not my class only, so other class as well. So I'll ask them, kalau dia nak buat quiz macam mana, then I'll get back to you guys lah later on. Quiz saya simple je. Okay, usually kita bagi code and then suruh you fill in the blanks. Okay, kita bagi code, kita bagi output. Okay, fill in the blanks. Okay, what is in this place? What is in this place? Okay, ataupun kita bagi code, kita suruh you guess the output. Or you guess the input. So something like that lah. So depend on the other lecturers as well lah. So because kalau kelas saya seorang saja yang manage is okay, but because we have other lecturers for other section, need to consider them as well. Okay, so that's all for today. Okay, ada question? Ada question?
No, sir.
Tak ada question. Oh, I can. Oh, new things. Oh, this one because I have yeah. Siapa? Irfan.
Saya. For this week punya kelas, kita boleh refer balik from YouTube sir kan?
Yeah, saya akan upload dekat YouTube by tomorrow or day after lah.
Okay, thank you sir.
Okay, before lab session kita akan masuk lah. Okay. Oh, I have this new features. Okay, because new 360. So let's see. Anything great from here? Or nothing? Just a character. Okay. Okay. I see you guys later on. Next week. On during lecture time. Please submit your lab session before the lecture time. Okay. Assalamualaikum. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Betul.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Sama.
Thank you, sir.